All right, guys, we're all set up, ready to rock. Warm-up's done, power sprint drills are done, so we're gonna get into business. It's not too much today. If anything, it's gonna be less volume, higher intensity, because what's on the menu is 2 warm-up runs, basically 20 to 30 yard accelerations. And the only reason I gave myself a range was just because I'm not really sure how it's gonna feel. First one I might do 20, second one I might do 30. I might even do a third if I feel like I need it. And then we're gonna get into the fun stuff, which is 2 sets of 3 20-yard flies. And so you have a 10-yard build-up, being a little strict with myself in terms of distance, only to like maximize my time there. So if you're unfamiliar with what, like, I guess like the purpose of a fly would be, is just you're trying to set a distance where you build up max acceleration in that distance, and then you maintain that top speed that you've reached for the remaining distance. So if you have a 20-yard fly, usually that implies 10-yard buildup, or however you frame it, with a 10-yard fly. Some people say 20-yard fly, that means you're flying for 20 and then the buildup is a separate number. Depends on who you ask. I've always known it as the former. But anyway, with that being said, the 2 sets of 3 is going to be a 10-yard build-up into a 10-yard fly. So it's 20 yards total. Again, trying to reach peak speed in that acceleration distance, which is the 10, and then maintain it for another 10. Should be easy, but it's going to be fatiguing, and we're definitely going to feel it tomorrow. That's how that's going to go. But anyway, let's go ahead and knock out the warm-up runs, and then we'll get down to business. And if I hadn't already specified, that's it for today. So once we do that, we go home and lift. So, and we got lots of stuff on the lifting menus that I'm excited for. So. Sorry. All right, warm up number 2. I don't know if I'll need a third yet. This one I'll probably take till the end. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, the fatiguing part's going to be the relative intensity, not necessarily the distance, right? Because we've been putting in more yards than this over the past 8 weeks. So it's the relative intensity that's really spiking, because we're hitting that top end acceleration in that 10-yard restriction, which comparatively, just so you guys have some context if you're unfamiliar, normally in a 40-yard sprint, you're not purposefully restricting yourself to a certain distance to accelerate. You're going to accelerate until you can no longer accelerate. And then from that point on, it's up and just flying the rest of the way. So when you restrict yourself to a buildup, like you only give yourself 10 yards to accelerate, you're trying to accelerate as hard as possible in 10 yards, because you may normally reach top end speed in 15. I would say 20, but I don't know if anyone actually takes that long to hit top speed. I think most people that sprint are hitting it in 15, or at least around 15. And then obviously elites are hitting it probably closer to 10, if not inside of, like, I would say 10, but like barely. I don't think they're reaching top end speed below 9, but I wouldn't really know. I'm not really into the elites data, but the thing about it here for us is, well, at least in my specific context, I know I can accelerate pretty fast, at least for my size. So 10 yards, I know I'm probably not hitting it in 10 yards, but I know I'm getting pretty fucking close. But then again, I could be wildly off, because again, I don't really have any coaches. I don't have anyone, viewing this to critique me. So anyway, enough yapping. Let's get to work. Oh. And this I am going to do rolling. All right, this is number 3 of the first set. And so far, everything's feeling really good. I feel good, even despite the soreness. I feel good. So, hopefully, this trend continues into the second set. Number 5. Feeling pretty fast. All right, this is number 6, right? Didn't we just do 5? Pretty sure we did. Pretty sure we just did 5. I can't remember. I think I did. We've been out here for a while. I think I did. Pretty sure. So this will be the last one. When I watch this back on the YouTube video and I see it's only 5, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. But anyway, after this, we do got to do some hurdle jumps real quick, which won't take long at all because it's gonna be low hurdles. So compared to high hurdles on Tuesday, which I know I'm yapping real quick, but it's because I'm not ready. So compared to high hurdles, where we're basically like knee tucking on each one, because again, I don't have hurdles. So basically my difference between the two is 1, I knee tuck for high hurdles, and then 2, it's just like, basically just like a high knee. Like I just go knees to here instead of like knees to chest, right? So knees to chest was Tuesday. Now on Friday, we're doing like knees to hip. So I just figured I'd spit that out real quick. All right, now let's do it. Number 6. Last one, best one, baby. Let's go. So here's the deal. 2 sets of 2, and I'm mimicking 6 hurdles. So again, it's low hurdle, so knee to hip, and we're doing 6, walk back, 6, and then we do that twice. So we'll do it again. So rest time, 30, 60 seconds. I mean, I feel fine. It's just gonna be long enough to where my heart rate just comes down a little bit. And just knock out again. Then we're gonna go home and lift. So here we go. Oh God. Wow. Nice and easy. I didn't swap shoes either because I don't really care. Easy peasy. Let's go home. Wrap it up. All right, guys. We are back at the house. And so we don't have any more power stuff to do. We just have the prehab, and then we're gonna get straight into some cleans, and then we're gonna squat. And then I think I have 2 accessories or 3. I don't remember off the top of my head. And then we're all done. So pretty straightforward weight training session. We're gonna start with the step downs, the Polican step downs with, oh God, memory blank, banded TKE. So similar to Tuesday, although I juiced up the band tension just a little bit because we were using like a red, I think. It was like a red band. So I juiced it up to my black band here. And same deal, 10 reps per leg. Actually, I think we did 15 on that day, but it doesn't really matter. 10 to 15 reps is fine. So, I started on the wrong leg. So again, we're just going down to where we get a little toe tap, and then completely straightening the banded leg to work on that terminal knee extension, which is your TKE. Without losing your balance. And number 10. Excellent. Now, we're moving to monster walks here. I'm gonna get this step out of the way. Little hip circle band. And you guys are gonna watch me walk back and forth here. Nothing too crazy. All I'm doing is a step and then step back. Going to 20 here. This is 16, 18, 20. Now, skater hops to finish up. Let me get this out of the way because I'm going to use a little bit more space. And for skater hops, it's nothing too crazy. We're just doing 5. And I'm trying to just stay a little light on my feet. Boom, done deal. So that's our prehab, nice and easy, just 1 round all the way through. We're gonna set up our hang cleans. Now the fun part, let me readjust this. The fun part here is I don't have a power bar or an Olympic bar. All I have is my power bar. So hang cleans for that reason aren't gonna be too crazy. And I know some people that are into kettlebells are like, why don't you do like kettlebell cleans? I would love to, but I have literally 3 kettlebells, and my heaviest one is a what? I don't even remember how much it is. I think it's like a 15 kilogram. So, and I only have one because I would do like double kettlebell. And I would prefer even heavier than that, like honestly, like a 25 kilo bell pair. But I don't have, so it's not a big deal. We're just gonna use the power bar. I do want to keep it light because I'm using it more as like a, I don't know, not really like a true speed thing. Like there is a velocity base that I want to emphasize, less about loading, because the squat we are purposefully loading super heavy. So I'm getting the contrast of both high external load and then high bar speed. So I'm not trying to overload the cleans. I mean, my clean doesn't even really fucking impress anybody anyway, let alone my hang clean. So I'm thinking like 135, maybe, I don't know. We're gonna do it for like 3 sets of 3, I think though, or 5 by 3, I can't remember. But we're gonna go ahead and knock that out. So with that, let's go ahead and cut the clip. I'm gonna take a little mini rest period, grab some water, and then we'll jump into it. Okay, so as we get into cleans here, my only concern really is just the fact that it's a power bar, so it'll probably feel like shit, and my knurling is just super aggressive. We'll see. Like everything else, we'll see how it feels. Oh. And it has been a long time since I've cleaned. So there's going to be a little bit of progression there, just in the technical execution aspect. So literally just being able to do it better. We'll see some improvements here. .95 actually didn't feel too bad. I'm kind of contemplating, should I just stay there maybe? Because again, I don't want to overload anything. Nah, maybe I'll throw a little bit more on. This feels comfortably heavy here. We might stay there because I feel like that's comfortably heavy enough for what I'm trying to do. So, and then we'll beef it up as technique improves over the weeks. So. Two down, 3 to go. This is number 4, and I'm sure if anyone's actually a weightlifter out there, they're probably watching me and cringing every single repetition. It's fine, you'll get over it. It is what it is, man. This is what happens when you don't pick a specialty. You just like to train everything. Ugh. I imagine I'm pretty okay at a lot of the stuff I choose to do. Am I a professional in each regard? No, probably not, but I like to think I'm good enough. And it's so light, I can't really fuck it up, right? I used to, well, actually, ironically, speaking of this, when we go into our conjugate block, I have 2 days where I'm training like cardio conditioning. And those 2 days, I actually, for summer, I do like to train the ollie lifts. So I have 1 day where I do cleans and another day where I do snatches. And it's a lot of fun. You know, it's only 12 weeks of practice. So it's like not much, but I do it every year, just like the sprinting. So it's like enough time every year to like at least maintain my skill level. You know what I mean? If anything, the only thing that really goes up where that like really sees massive improvement is the power lifts, because that's something I train year round. So anyway, we got one more of these and then we'll move on to squats. I almost went up to 135 for this last one, but you know, we got some progressions built in, so I'll just save it for later. This is feeling good. I don't want to like jinx myself. Everything feels good. Just keep getting reps in. I actually need to change those J cups before I put them back up there. Do that real quick. One's a weird one because last year I did front squats, SSB, and then back squats. That wasp is back. I'm gonna fucking kill that motherfucker. And that was all in the logic of loading. So, you know, obviously as the block went on, we got heavier with our squat variations. This year, I wanted to try something different because taking full range of motion squats was very taxing on the legs, and especially as the load got heavier, even though it's not as demanding because the volume is less, is just something about having all that axial load and then just moving it through a full ROM, like actually just beat the shit out of me. And so one of my thought processes was, you know, I could use bands or chains to kind of deload some of that joint stress, which would totally work. But I kind of just wanted to try a different approach, which was the range of motion thing. And so we went from front squats to back squats, now into partials. Or actually, no, did we do back squats first? I think we did back squats first, yeah. And then front squats, and now partial back squats. So you're gonna see me quarter squat, and I haven't quarter squatted, I think, ever, actually. Like, when I think about it, I don't think I ever actually have. I just never programmed it because I never really had a need for it in anything that I did. But you know, I like to experiment, and so here I am, quarter squatting today. I'm gonna keep it light. We're doing a 3x3. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 300, I guess, because I'm trying to keep it relatively light. I don't want to go too nuts out of the gate, especially because of quarter squat. You'll be able to like overload because you're not taking it through a full ROM, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to emphasize a forward shin angle and kind of like that quarter squat position that sprinters find themselves in and jumpers. So I'm just trying to replicate that specifically. So anyway, we're probably gonna ride this kind of like a deadlift where we do 135 straight to 225, straight to 315 maybe, or 275 then to 300 and 315. I don't know. I just reckon it's gonna be so fucking easy that I can just make big jumps like that and not worry about it, but we will see, like everything else. So here we go, it's just 3 reps, quarter squat. And because I have never done this before, I'm sure my depth will change rep to rep, so I'm going based off of feel. So when I feel like I'm in that quarter squat position, I'll just stand back up. Same high bar position and hand position and all that. Ooh, I'm a little wobbly. I have no idea if that's actually core squat or not. Feels like it is, so we'll stay right there. All right, here we go, number 2. I just, like I said, I jumped straight to 225 because it feels fine. I'm not taking it through full ROM, so I don't foresee anything bad or feeling like shit. My balance is better because I'm paying attention. Two felt deeper than I needed it to be, but 1 and 3 felt too shallow. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. So 275 might be where we find ourselves staying. I kind of want 300, but again, you know, everything just depends on how this feels. So if it feels like shit, then, you know, it is what it is. We just stay here. Because even though this is the last 4 weeks, we still have progressions built across everything. So I'm not worried if like this is where we're at because we just look to increase load over the 4 weeks. But yeah, that's where we're at. So let's see how it feels for 3. And we have to do 3 sets across too. So I'm not building to a 3 RM. Not that I would want to. Doesn't feel bad, but it doesn't necessarily feel that great either. We might stay there. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna do this again. I did throw my Velcro belt on just because I feel like I need a little bit of support. I was trying to do these beltless, but like, I don't know. I think it's just maybe the position or something. I don't know. It just doesn't feel too good. It doesn't feel bad, but I imagine it would just feel better than it does, you know? So I don't know. We'll fucking do it again, see if this feels any better with this on, and then just go from there. But I'll probably end up doing 275 for these 2 more sets. I don't know if we'll go up from here. Because again, my emphasis isn't on loading. I wanted to keep it, you know, relatively light. That last one felt a little bit better because I tried not to hinge as much. I feel like because I'm used to hinging more because I squat all the way down. But that time I just stayed upright and didn't really think about hinging at all. Felt a little bit better. So, well, like I thought, we'll stay here and just do this again because we're going to 2s and then singles on week 3. So maybe we can hit like 300 by then, because this is 275, so maybe like 295 or 300 for the doubles, and then maybe 315 for singles. I don't know. We'll see. And I'm gonna remain vertical and like sit down instead of hinge, because that did feel better compared to all the other reps I've done. So that's our cues. Yeah, oddly enough, I mean, that felt just so much better than trying to hinge. So, and that felt way lighter than the first 2 sets. So that's good news. All right, we're gonna set up for our accessories. We got single leg squats, some ab stuff. I think it's like TRX rollouts, I think. And then oblique crunches off the back extension. So three things left, and then we're all done. This is basically a hand-assisted single leg squat. Kind of replicates a pendulum squat if you've ever used one of those. So with the TRX, I have a little wedge here. I don't know if you can see the wedge. That's going to give us the forward shin angle that we need to like replicate the pendulum. Because if you think about the pendulum squat, that foot plate is inclined, so that we're kind of replicating the angle here. I'm just holding onto this for balance. We single leg down. Hopefully my wedge doesn't go sliding across the floor. It kind of is. And we kind of treat this just like our pendulum. I am sliding just a little bit, so real quick. I might leave that in. I don't know. You guys will find out in just a second when the blue pad and plate suddenly magically appears. We got our 10. Now the other leg. Two more. Oh, buddy. Oh, that sucks. Whew. I just need a quick breather between legs. I'm sure y'all will understand. All right, let's go. Come on, 10. I got 10. I got 10. God. All right, fellas. We got 2 sets here of bird dogs off the TRX. So with the TRX bird dog, you have a few ways to do it, just like regular bird dogs, where you have, you know, each individual limb. You have arms only, you have legs only, you have reciprocal, you have alternating, you have arm leg opposites, all sorts of stuff, right? So there's a million ways to do this. How I'm choosing to do it today is oh God, give me a second. Oh, that felt great. is a bear plank position. So knees are off the ground, toes are on the ground, and hands on the TRX. And so what we're gonna do is just little arm reaches, because you can't really go completely overhead without losing tension on the TRX, right? And we're gonna do 10. So I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. It's gonna be 5 per arm, and it's gonna suck. And we're just gonna try and stabilize the best we can without knees hitting the blue pad. So here we are. I got the hands directly underneath the TRX, so we're nice and balanced. Knees are up, and I'm just going out. Opposite. One more. Knees down. So, a couple of ground rules with that, in case you don't already know. Knees hover just above the ground. It's going to be easy for you to want to hike the ass cheeks up and straighten the legs, because it's more comfortable to be there. But you want the knees at 90 degrees, you want the hips at 90 degrees, and you're just owning that shit the whole time. Then from there, it's just a hard brace. Arm goes out, try to get biceps to ear, and then back. We got one more set of those. I'm only resting like 45 seconds. We're gonna run it again. But that's basically the gist. Here we go, let me untangle my TRX here. So same deal, and my knees are right above the pad, so if I do crash, you know, it doesn't hurt, you know, because I am a wuss. All right, so from here, bear plank position, 90-90 at the knees and hips. We are up in 3, 2, 1, and then from here, one arm at a time. One more. Whew. Oh, holy shit. Oh, make sure I don't crack my head on that barbell. Whew. All right. One more exercise to go. All right, this is it right here. Oblique crunches off of this bad boy. I'm not doing them weighted. Body weight initially. We might add weight in future weeks. Oh. And then we're just gonna scooch on over. Oh, nice. Ooh. Pulling on my hip. That feels good. One more. Nice. And I know you guys probably can't really tell, or maybe you can, but my bottom leg. So for example, if you're on your right side, your right leg is the bottom, right? That foot, I have it basically kind of inverted. So like, kind of like this. So that when you're actually doing the oblique crunch, you get this interesting like oblique pull across the body. And not necessarily from a loading perspective, but just like a stretch, which is loading. But like, I don't mean like trying to like hammer it. Like if you were to add weight, just that stretch that you put your body into, I mean, you feel it top to bottom, and it feels great. So if you've never done, you know, oblique work, or maybe you've done like oblique crunches like on the floor or something, try and get something where your middle section, so like your pillar, has room to move. And I know a really popular move on Instagram is like 2 benches, and you put your like forearm or elbow on one and then your feet on the other, and then you get this huge stretch throughout the slings. That's like one example of that. That just feels great. If you haven't done that before, it feels fucking great. Be careful with how much you load or how much you do though, because if you haven't done it before, that shit will make you sore as fucking shit. So just be careful with that. But if you haven't done it, I highly recommend, because it does just feel great, first of all. All right, we got one more. And you know what? I'm just going to let the tape roll again. I don't even fucking care. We'll just leave it rolling. Fuck it. But you'll see what I'm talking about here. So the bottom leg is inverted, and the top leg is inverted as well. So they're kind of like this, right? If you were to look at it, I don't even know if you guys can see that, but yeah, that way when you stretch here, it's lengthening. Like you can feel it from like lat all the way down to like oblique, obviously, into the hip, and even down the outside of my leg. It just feels fucking phenomenal. I love it. All right. One more, tape still rolling. Good, cool. Go. 15, last 15. Oh, bring it home. And we're right in an hour too, nice. And I don't know what number I'm on, so one more for good luck. Nice. Whew. Oh, man. Oh. Good job. We did it. Or, I mean, we, mostly just me, so. But if you're, you know, using this as background background audio. I'm not singing for you. Background audio for your workouts or whatever you're doing. Hopefully you succeeded, or actively are succeeding in doing the thing. And if you're not, get back to fucking work, dude. What do you think this is? This ain't summer camp. Get back to work. Anyway. This was a very successful week 9 entry into the final phase. I feel good. Both sprint days, dude. Oh man, light as a feather. Fucking accelerations felt great. Top end speeds felt good. I felt light on my feet. I felt strong. Like, only really started to experience some aches today. But we're gonna recover hard throughout the weekend. I have my protocol down to pretty much what I'm doing, which is, I told you all about the compression sleeves. I've been using those. Eating, sleeping, managing my stress like an adult. Yeah, that's really the secret. I mean, the compression sleeves are probably the most gimmicky thing about my recovery protocol. But I like the gimmicks, at least some of them, you know. And as long as your efforts are focused on the things that work for everybody, which is good nutrition, good sleep, good stress management, everything else is just icing on the cake, man. So the compression sleeves, cold baths, which I don't do anymore, but you know, stuff like that, it's all icing on the cake. For me, I like using those leg sleeves like either before I go to bed or just midday, because sometimes like I have like the muscle cramps where like my quad like keeps spasming. The leg sleeves help alleviate that. And yeah, just staying active, walks, and just trying to manage the stress that I have the best that I can. So yeah, with all that being said, great week 9, dude. We got 3 weeks left. We're gonna fucking kill it. I am hype as shit for my 40-yard time this year. I really hope it's going to be better than last year. We'll see, man. We'll see. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. So I'm going to let y'all enjoy either the rest of your training week, or if you're done training for the week, enjoy your recovery this week. I don't even know when this video is going to be released, honestly. I try to keep it the same as when I actually train, but sometimes shit gets out of whack. Regardless, whatever you got going on, I hope it goes well. And I'll see you guys in the next video where we amp it up again. Adios.